Okay, so I have measured out 5 grams of potassium chlorate in here. It is going to take a minute to heat up and get where it needs to be, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure that all of the safety is correct. I don't need gloves because I've already measured out the materials. I'm not touching any of the chemicals. I do need goggles. The people who are up front don't have to wear goggles because they're not in danger. I don't need an apron because it's not going to get close to me. Okay? So while this heats up, I'll explain what's going on. So the reaction that's taking place is the 5 grams of potassium chlorate is dissolving or decomposing. So KClO3 decomposes into KCl plus O2. Then the O2 is going to react with sucrose. So I'm going to add a gummy bear to that once it's ready, and this is a combustion reaction. Okay? So what I want to know is my potassium chlorate the limiting reactant, or is my sucrose the limiting reactant? So I start with 5 grams of potassium chlorate, and I start with 1.8 grams of sucrose. All right? So I'm going to divide by the molar mass of potassium chlorate. For every 2 moles of KClO3, I get 3 moles of oxygen. For every 12 moles of oxygen, I get 12 moles of CO2. And this is going to equal 0.061 moles of CO2. Okay? Keep in mind that I did a little bit more complicated reaction than most of you will. It's a double reaction. Y'all's is just a single. Because of the double, I had 2 ratios. You won't have that. You'll just do 1 ratio. All right, for grams of sucrose, 2 moles of CO2. I divide by the molar mass of sucrose. For 1 mole of sucrose, I get 12 moles of CO2. And I'm going to get 0.067 moles of CO2. So whichever one of my reactants makes less is my limiting reactant. So which of these 2 is my limiting reactant? Which one of these made less?
The C12.
The KClO3 made 0.061. So it made just a little bit less. So this potassium chlorate is going to be my limiting reactant. Alright, so I converted both of my reactants to product to see which one made less. That's my limiter. Any questions about that? What does potassium chlorate become midway through the reaction? Yeah, what does it become?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. So do we think that this is definitely my limiting reactant? Yes, no, maybe. Why would oxygen maybe not be my limiting reactant?
Because there's oxygen everywhere.
Because there's oxygen everywhere. So this should be my limiting reactant, but if it's not, I wouldn't be shocked. So we'll see what happens. All right, so now I'm going to take this over to the hood. Right, and so I can see if I look in it that there's gummy bear left over. So my limiting reactant was the potassium perchlorate, not the gummy bear. Gummy bear was the excess because there's leftovers. All right, any questions?